Attempt number two with Mr. Potato. And thanks one. Oh, hey, it's one of these little scarabs. You can die. I was gonna say, if it's something that's, like, generally good, like the Crimson Amber Medallion, I'm gonna pin it and let a teammate take it. Partially, to show goodwill. And partially because I won't get too much use. Or I won't get as much use, rather, out of most talismans compared to a melee character when going up against the Dreglord. At least I'm assuming. But Arrow Sting Talisman on the one bow guy. I feel like it's pretty obvious. That's a me thing. Alright, I'm getting the Arrow Sting Talisman. It's far more useful to me than either of them. Improved affinity damage negation. Dreglord was tough. The defense is good. What damage type are they gonna use? I don't know. Where are these guys going? Holy Bow. Attacks inflict sleep, and also it's a purple weapon. So, where are we going? We're fighting them good. Gonna pop that because that takes out just a ton of enemies. Which gets us a lot of runes. Holy damage negation, I don't really care for that. Yeah, so we've already got a good damaging option for the Nightlord fight. Like, purple rarity, and does a status condition. How useful that status condition is going to be, I don't know. I know that sleep is good against balancers, but Dreglord isn't balancers, so just so he doesn't shoot us. For physical damage negation, as a general rule, I almost always prefer physical damage negation over affinity damage negation. Broke a crystal. This is thing in here. Or it's not that. So it's there, okay. I don't know those like inside ones as much. I'm a bit slower on them. Drop that in case one of them wants it. Like, especially because the Undertaker couldn't remember the name for a second. Especially since Undertaker is a little bit of a magic user. Or at least has faith scaling. Yeah. Either improved ranged weapon attacks or affinity damage negation. I guess I'll go with damage, because I don't know if Dreglord even does affinity damage. I mean, they obviously do physical damage, but I don't know about affinity. If I had to guess, I'd say they probably do, but I don't know for sure. And so I would rather go with the thing that I 100% know for a fact will be useful, rather than the thing where it's like, oh, maybe. Oh, they have a smithing stone too as well. I'm actually not going to buy that, because I get this at level 7. And I'm already at level 6. There's a crystal there. Right by this church. Good to know. I'm gonna pick that up. Just to have it on me. You know, just in case we get a little hungry, just in case we want a little snack as we continue on. I mean, we have to go 3 days on an expedition. You really think we're not gonna get hungry in those 3 days? I have ult, but Ancient Hero Zamor gets wrecked so hard so easily that we can just save it for something better. I opposed that. Oh, you can climb up here. Neat. Let's wait for a bleed proc. There we go. Swap those so we have bleed on the left hand. And just base damage on the right hand. Also, Polybow. Polybow is one of the best. Your guesswork. Like I said, with vertical maps, yeah, kind of never know. Can tell that they're doing something, at least something, so I'll follow them instead. Oh, he's here.
Make your choice.
I was hoping for runes. I was hoping for runes, but alas. I mean, hey, Mr. Potato got runes. So at least one person is benefiting. And sometimes that's all you can ask for. I saw one person going for crystal. Could either have gone for the critical hit or the mark. And I decided critical hit. Improved ranged weapon attacks. Yeah, because critical hit not only does really good damage, where did I land? Jeebus Weebus. I landed in a hole. Okay, but critical hit not only guaranteed does good damage, but more importantly, it also stops the boss from attacking. And that's very important to me. Attacks inflict blood loss or physical damnation. Wilder's Greatsword. You might think that kind of a waste to pick up Wilder's Greatsword, because it has no secondary effect. And you'd be correct. However, counterpoint. Well, I've been in. Okay, counterpoint. Greatsword supremacy. It is the best weapon class in the entire game. More range. We can make it here. This is the direction we want to be going. Okay. That allows us to take out a few more enemies. I didn't realize they'd have such a low health. Or else I wouldn't have ulted. Okay. Oh, bears. Not just bears, but big bears. We can put them deep. Alright, so 2 Giga Bears. I know they're called Rune Bears, but Giga Bears is funny. So 2 Giga Bears as the 3 boss enemies. And then the boss is a Great Red Bear, which is a Shadow of the Earth Tree boss. And while they're not my favorite, I do like them. Especially like when they get on their hind legs and just roar. Oh, I was hoping that was it. Yeah! The Giga Roar! You'll love to see it. good to see another new boss. New as in Night 1 boss. That did a lot of damage to the Undertaker. Okay. But anyways, yeah, like, if I get another weapon that has, like, improved ranged weapon attacks or projectile damage drop-off reduced, I will drop Wilder's Greatsword. However, it's just such a good-looking weapon. And it doesn't have a sheath or scabbard. And I like when weapons don't have sheaths or scabbards, because those things tend to mess with the look of an outfit. Kind of hurts the fashion souls a little bit. And so Wilder's Greatsword not having that, I really like. Also, Ghost Flame Dragon, that was another DLC thing. Boost Flask HP restoration. That's a very good thing to get. Another great Crystal Shatters. Drop down. This kind of looks goopy. Is it just me, or does that look like something that you could lick and it would taste like candy? Like blue raspberry. Oh, they want to do that first. Okay. They pinned it, now they're running away. Well, they're probably running somewhere else in here. Did I run off to somewhere I shouldn't be at? I think we ran in different directions. We ended up meeting up, that's good. Improved affinity attack power. But yeah, I think they... I think they jumped down the big hole in the middle. I didn't. But yeah, see, continuous HP recovery +1. It's not that good, but it's something. And that something is better than the nothing you get from Wilder's Greatsword. So, do we take that? Especially because of how long the Dreglord fight was. I'll take a Smithing Stone 1. Multiple periodic glint blades. Through to ranged weapon attacks. I'll take that over the bleed. we're doing good damage. I was going to ult, but because we're doing such good damage, I'm gonna drop that because I don't need it. I'll swap to this so I can shield if I need to, I suppose. Black bow. 107, 109. I prefer the look of the black bow. So I'll go with it because of that more than the damage. Even if the damages were swapped, and the black bow was 107, I'd still go with the black bow. I'll go with this because it's a less visual clutter. Like I said, Fashion Souls. Missing stone 1. I don't think Anspur would be useful for the Dreglord. And that's what my main focus is. Because it was a toughie. And 10% more damage on every single bow shot would be better. Affinity damage negation. That's still in the circle. Ran this way, so what's this way? If a teammate's willing to run there, I'm willing to run there. So, that critical hit is guaranteed to kill him, so I'll just shoot those two guys. So they don't come over and attack us. Through affinity, attack power. How useful that will be, if at all, I don't know. Alright, so now we're heading back to the tower. And we could probably knock this out. The temple rumbles with lightning, it said. That's an interesting thing for a game to say. Right, so for the next boss, whatever it is, doesn't matter. I'm immediately going to ult the next boss because I haven't ulted in too long. I was gonna pick up the symbol of avarice. Yeah, see, light on the left side, so you go left. Just a little visual trick to help you remember. But yeah, I was gonna pick up the symbol of avarice, but they did instead, and you know what, that's fine. I don't really need it. Also, my leg fell asleep. So I'm just gonna readjust my leg. Guts can duo, but you only get the Twinkie 1 after the donut hits half health. Have I ever explained that, by the way? I call the noble the donut and the apostle the Twinkie. I haven't done any recorded runs of, like, the Elden Ring single weapon class runs, so I probably haven't, because that's something that I would explain in a single weapon class run. The light is on the right side, so we go to the right. Continuous HP recovery +1 is the least useful thing. Improved ranged weapon attacks by 14% is pretty good. We have 4 increased damage and 1 increased range. And then the secondary effect on this is useless. Well, the weapon itself is good. Actually, we can two-hand the bow. Ah, he dodged just in time. We can do that. We just got this, so we can pop that.
There is no escape.
Beautiful dodge. Okay. I thought that was gonna make him flinch. Alright, so that got both teammates up. Now this is probably a stupid thing to do. Very greedy, very not worth it. Absolutely garbage thing to do. Yeah, as you can see, even without the symbol of avarice, I'm level 15 with 150k. Thankful I could get my Elden Flask back from that. However, I do think we're gonna die. We've just been in the rain too long. And if you're in the rain for too long, then it just starts machine gunning your health down. And I feel like we're getting real close to that point. We got to that point. I called it almost perfectly. But that is very unfortunate. Hopefully it puts us in the circle. I care a lot more about losing the level than 150k. Also, once again, we did not get that. This time it's just some basic shadow enemies. And a second layer of basic shadow enemies. Now we get the boss. Nope, third group of basic shadow enemies. Knight Artorias. Incredible. Cinema. Was he called Knight Artorias? In the Dark Souls 1 boss fight? Is it... I mostly know him as Abyss Walker Artorias. I think he was a Knight Artorias in the boss fight. So he still has that. That did not do a lot of damage from the looks of things, which is good. It's very shadowy. Oh, it's got the corruption goop on the floor. Beautiful. Some people love fan service, some people hate fan service. That's a new attack. That wasn't in the original. I don't really care either way, as long as it's done well. Ooh. That was done well, though. Are the enemies out here? The enemies are out there, but that's a lot of damage. Wanted to see, because we're like 15k away from a level. That's unfortunate. Crimson Burst, my beloved. I'd rather have 2 Warming Stones than Opaline. With the blood. The Scholar's Grief. And improved rolling attacks. Improved rolling attacks is new. I'll happily take that. I kind of want to pick up the Scholar's Grief. Or pick up that just to see what the Scholar's Grief is. Or does, rather. Everything we have is just good. So, I'd rather keep what I've got. I'm going in, like, compared to the first attempt, I'm going in with better secondary effects, a good talisman, and more consumable heals. Like these heals. But I'm going in at a lower level. It's only one lower, but... I am a worried little baby. Because this boss had a lot of health. I wonder what Strages means. And I wonder what it betrayed. Because it has traitorous in the name. it must have betrayed something to get that title. So I wonder what it betrayed. No. Not really right here, but... Oh. But... from what I'm seeing... the boss... again, just to me... kinda looks like a mix between the putrid avatars of Elden Ring and the Herald Knights from the Ring the City DLC in Dark Souls 3. Maybe that's just me, but that's the visuals I'm getting from these guys. Ooh. Alright, so that was a pretty easy phase 1. But also, I'm playing Iron Eye. Overpowered character. And also I can just sit at range and not have to worry about getting close to the boss and not having to worry about FP. So, maybe that's why. But they felt more difficult in the first attempt. I was about to say, are they running away? Like, I remember a thing happening at the beginning of phase 2. But I don't remember it doing damage. So I don't think I should be worried. Oh. The attack was meant to catch panic rollers. And boy howdy did it catch the panic roller. I'm just gonna use this off cooldown instead of trying to interrupt an attack. Because I don't know the attack tells and timings that well yet. Since it's my second attempt. And so I feel like just using my ult off cooldown Alright, so he's got a tell where he like raises his arm right before doing the super fast slide. Good to know. If the boss isn't focused on me, I'd rather use a warming stone. Because I see the heal as being like a panic, or the moment, instant thing. Whereas so, wasn't focused on me, but got the timings a bit better there. I feel like I'm gonna want to use the mark for that one throw attack. Both of them took a lot of damage from that. Mr. Potato early on. and thanks one later on, near the end of the attack. Okay. So, I got the Circle of Death on me, but he's not actually looking at me. Because if he did look at me, I would have just used a heal. But the team is doing much better. I'm not doing much better, but the team is doing much better. And unless he's got a third full health bar, that seems like a victory. Calamity overcome. Beautiful. And I had 5 Estus left. I had 5 Flask of Crimson Tears left. I had to sneeze, by the way. Also, it says that I'm level 15, but I thought I died and went down to level 14. Whatever, I'll take it, I'll take it. Nope. Guard counter is given a boost based on current HP. That alone is not worth it. Strength +2, physical attack up +2. I can see that. Earn runes for each additional spell. Ah. So, for Scholar, when you do the, like, zoom in and either buff yourself or debuff an enemy, with this, you get runes for every single time you, like, do that to a new enemy. That's neat. The second and third thing is not good, but I'll keep that just because. Here, status ailment gauges slowly increase attack power. So, if the way that I'm interpreting that is if you get statused, or if an enemy gets statused, then you slowly gain damage. Might be wrong about that, but that's what I'm reading it as. Attacks inflict a rot when damage is taken. So, when you take damage, you get like a rot grease effect on your weapon for a little bit. And then rot in vicinity causes continuous HP recovery. So my question on that is, do you lose health from the rot, but also gain health to, like, balance it out? Or do you gain health instead of losing health? Because if it's you gain health instead of losing health, even when you're the one who, like, when you're the one who gets rotted, that'd be really good. Especially since the Dreglord had, like, rot rain in the fight, and I didn't see any way to avoid that. This can make it to where having this, like, having this relic on in the Dreglord fight could mean that that rot rain, instead of making you take damage, it actually gives you some health back. So not my favorite, but kind of decent.
Another substantial threat subdued. Perhaps this was an act of penance. We are condemned, after all.
Small little cutscene, but ooh, very good screenshots. Okay, that was good. As I said, not my favorite, but kind of decent. I can definitely see people who are more in favor of the like temporary damage boosts, because temporary damage boosts aren't really my thing. But for people who do like that, I can definitely see them liking this. But okay. Second attempt, we beat the Dreglord. That's very nice. I still want to... I still want to play some Undertaker, so that way I can actually get memory fragments for her. So, I'm gonna swap to her. Actually, we might have more options here after beating the Dreglord. We do. So, Scholar has Pardoner, which is... I don't remember his name. Oswald, I think, from Dark Souls 1. And then Xanthus, which we've seen in Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3. I'll get that, because this looks pretty good. I like the hand, and I was like fuzzy in the cape. But then we have Brass, which we've seen in Dark Souls 1 with the Anor Londo Firekeeper. And then the set showed up in Dark Souls 3 as well. And the Lord's Blade, which is from Chiron or Kieran, however you pronounce it, from the Dark Souls 1 DLC. I personally prefer Brass, but both of these look really good. Really glad they were brought back. Glad I decided to check that out. Beautiful. So I do think it's a little funny how Scholar is the thrusting sword character, whereas Undertaker is the mace character. But the NPC who used this armor set in Dark Souls 1 used a piercing sword, but the set didn't go to the Scholar. I do think that's kind of funny. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go after something that isn't the Dreglord. Purely because both times going after the Dreglord, I've gotten an Undertaker, and I would like to play the Undertaker myself. Do I have? I do. I have some kind of basic ones, but mostly about increased rune acquisition and physical damage up. I think I'm going to go after... We'll do both of these. these two. But yeah, second attempt to beat Dreglord. Saw the rewards for them. Pretty nice. Very happy with that. And yeah.